Hey, this is Orange One here with Kenshi. I wanted to show this game off today. Um, I've really been enjoying this game. I discovered it like a month or two ago. I think it's a really cool one. Kind of similar vibes to Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. You can easily modify it. I'm going to enable those mods. And it's also got kind of like a similar lore. It's like post-apocalyptic. It's a role-playing game, open world. No real like main quest or anything. Just kind of do what you want to do and tell your own story. Uh, Essentially, though, this game's an early release game, and the lore of the world is that the world ended thousands of years ago, and there's people trying to rebuild civilization, like a couple different factions. And you can align yourself to those factions, or you can stay independent. And a couple of those factions, there's like the Holy Nation, which is their prejudice against other species of creatures. They're like a human only faction, and they also are sexist. Like they will attack your group if you don't have any male humans in the group, or if you have a skeleton, which is a robot. So they really don't like robots. They blame the robots for the world ending. It's kind of unclear as to what exactly caused the world to end. There's a lot of people pointing fingers at different groups. But there's also the United Cities, which is all about money, and being poor is a crime, and if you're poor you can be enslaved. There's also the Shek Kingdom, which are like these people covered in bone, or like an exoskeleton. They're all about like honor and battles, and they're kind of like Vikings. They all want to like die in battle. So they've got some issues, and some people don't think it's a very sustainable society. And luckily for them, their leader doesn't really think that way, but then a lot of people question them. There's also the Hive people, which are like these bug people, which are pretty weak individually, but there's a lot of them. And so this is my base that I've built off into the desert. And I think, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that originally the game was only in the desert part of this continent, and then they added all these different things. You can see we've got a pretty big base. We've got some farms, and we've got some like iron refineries and some people doing some mining. It's kind of cool. All the mining that you do is on like these old like wrecked metal things, and you can do like metalworking. I have a little armor making station here, and chainmail station there, and a weaponsmith over here. This guy's actually one of the Shek. He's got like bones covering him. Let's just take off his armor for a second so you can see that. Actually, he's got his shirt on as well. You can kind of see his forearms have bone on them. Yeah, you can see that he's got all this like bone on the outside of his body, so it's like armor in a sense. Then you go to my soldiers. These guys out here were just attacking some of the Holy Nation. In this game, I've had like a little personal war against the Holy Nation, and I'm aligned with the United Cities. So the United Cities are up in the desert here. The Holy Nation's like around the middle here. There's some cannibals up north. The Shek Kingdom and also the Western Hive are around here. Then this area is like heavily irradiated. There's no real factions around here, but the United Cities do own some cities around here. There's some also independent cities that are not aligned with anyone. This part of the map has not been opened yet, but from what I've heard, it will be opened up soon. Let's go ahead and show you some of the combat, because the combat, in my opinion, is one of the places where this game gets really cool. So I've got my little group here. Got a couple different people with a couple different styles of melee weapons. They have different pros and cons to them. I also have an unarmed expert. I've got them carrying like all the group's gear, so they're kind of slow. Oh, there's some combat here in the distance. So you can go up against some pretty big groups. Looks like a holy nation and samurais are fighting right here. And the really cool thing about this combat is that it's kind of like KOTOR in a sense, where everyone just kind of does their combat. But it's also what I really like about it is like when you take too much damage to certain body parts, you fall unconscious. So I'm like looking at this guy, he's unconscious right now, he's bleeding a lot, he's took quite a bit of damage to his legs, and if you lose all of the health on a certain limb, it becomes crippled. If it goes to negative 100, you actually lose the limb. So this guy is actually dying. If they don't get medical attention, they're gonna die. That guy's gonna be fine. Let's see if we can find someone who lost a limb. No, it doesn't look like any of them lost any limbs. Well, why don't we get ourselves into some combat, and then we can... With our guys, they're pretty powerful and they've got some amazing weapons, because this is like an end game team of people. The weapons that we have do like probably twice as much damage as what most other weapons do. Oh, who are the slaves? What do they want? So these slaves, yeah, I'm gonna not kill them. We'll make friends. Actually, oh, they wanted to join me. I could have gotten some more people. Yeah, so you can only have, I think, like 32 NPCs or something like that. And I've already got that between my 3 different squads. And so I can't actually have any more NPCs. And that would have been a couple free NPCs right there, which is pretty rare. Most of the time you have to buy NPC companions at like a bar. You have to like pay them like a starting wage. The map in this game is like absolutely huge. It's probably one of the largest maps in any video game that I've ever played. But the thing is that it's like pretty empty. Like if you can see, there's not like an awful lot of stuff going on out in the wild. Oh, here we go. We got some Holy Nation squad. They're pretty unlucky to run into my team. They've got the numbers, but we've got much better gear, so we're gonna tear right through these guys. They do kind of send their special forces after you if you attack enough of them. But I've gotten to the point with this squad where I can take on a whole city and it's fine. Oh, looks like somebody lost an arm. Who is it that lost an arm? There we go. So you can lose like an arm if it goes under negative 100. Looks like that guy was unlucky enough to lose an arm. You can also like pick people up and put them in cages, or you can heal them up. So this guy, yeah, he's lost his arm. So if I wanted to, I could bring this guy back to my base, or I could like take them to some slavers. Oh, that's pretty gross. It's bleeding pretty heavily. He's about to die. He's like literally on the verge of death. You know what? We'll take pity on you. We'll stop you from dying. Or we'll at least try. I don't know if we'll make it in time. If he gets to oh, yeah, he died. Alright, well. We tried. Why don't we show you one of the cities? Let's go to Stout. So you can see one of the cities. We'll speed up the game and follow Hugh till he gets there. But yeah, my characters right here are like cyborgs, so they can run super fast, and they actually hit really hard with the cybernetic parts that they've got on them. This guy right here has got something that makes him run really fast. This is a lot of health. These make them really dexterous, so they do more damage with blades because of that. But if I look at my unarmed expert, their cybernetics are all around strength on their arms. So they're just like super strong because of that. And they do also have a scout leg. But they're carrying a lot of gear right now, so they're kind of slowed down. Let's go back to Hugh, who's just getting to that city. Yep. So this is what the cities kind of look like. There's a couple different stores that you can go in. An archery range right there. That is like where the police are. You can hold down Alt and it like shows you where all the stores are around you. Let's go into one of the bars so you can see what the bars look like. As you can see, there's quite a few NPCs in a city. There's a hero boss there. Just like a gang. They don't really like us because we've got some non-humans with us. And so there's all these NPCs in the bar, but you can talk to some of them. I could recruit mercenaries if I wanted to, but they're like day by day. You only hire them for like a day or so at a time. And you can also do trade with like the store owners. So I could trade with this guy, get some food if I needed it. But we've got plenty of food actually with Hatsune or Hatsune in their backpack. They've got food, they've got sleeping bags if we need to sleep somewhere, gas mask if we get ourselves some toxic gas if we try and go to like the Black Desert. Got all kinds of great stuff, but it's slowing them down, so they're only just getting here. So yeah, let me know if you want me to do a Let's Play series on this game. I'd be happy to start up a new game. Just drop a comment down below and I'll start up a new game, do a little role playing and show you some other mechanics of the game, because the early game is really where this is a really cool game, really challenging, makes you have to think outside the box and kind of work with what you have. As you can see, it's auto saving right now, which is one of my bigger complaints about the game. It's not really optimized for I think my computer, or just in general, so saving can take a super long time when you have these older saves where you've got a lot of things on the map, like an outpost and multiple crews running around. Yeah, you just kind of have to be patient when it goes to auto-saving. You just gotta hang out for a minute or two. Alright, well, this has been Orange One. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you around.